welcome everybody to the happy hour with Evan. And I want to thank everybody for joining us today. So I would like to introduce Evan. Evan is running for circuit judge in Pinellas and Pasco. The election is August 18th. You can vote early or by mail as well. And so to get this started, I want to introduce Sarah Molo. She is our newly elected public defender. So if you'd like to say a couple words about how you met Evan and all that good stuff.
I will, and thanks for having me, and thanks for everyone for being here. And if you're watching this on rebroadcast, it is 5:30 here. So cheers to Evan and cheers to everyone. Have a happy and safe 4th of July is how I'd like to start. One of the things is how I met Evan and where I first met him. So I first met Evan on the campaign trail, and I actually think it was the PFAL event where I really talked to him, because they did manicure and pedicure, which I'm so missing those events, right? It was great. You went, had a glass of wine, there were cocktails, you could sign up for PFAL right there. It was just a brilliant event, full of women getting their nails or pedis, and there was Evan, right? In the middle of it. Doing a really good job because we were stuck, right? He had a captive audience. And so what I saw was somebody really utilizing the room. We were trapped getting a mani-pedi, and he was walking up and down. And I do think that he might have got a pedi at some point too, but or a mani, I don't know. I didn't check the color. But one of the things that impressed me about Evan is his just unabashed willingness to talk to anybody in the room and get to know you. He kind of is shy, right? So you have to pull it out of him a little. But once you get talking to him, you realize that this is something that's in him. That's what he wants to do. He's not going to give up on it. And I look forward to seeing him in a black robe. So that's kind of how I met him. We ran around on the circuit together. I'm really happy not to be on that circuit anymore. Although in hindsight, when you're going through, and I just like to say thank you to anybody who runs for public office. Having done that now, I didn't have a challenger. I can't imagine the stress and the time that you have to put in with a challenger too. It's a lot of work, and you only do it if you're really dedicated and it's in your heart and you want to do it, because there's no other way you would put that amount of unpaid time into just a gratuitous position. So I know he wants to do it. I know it's in his heart. I know he's going to do a good job. I really do believe that things happen for a reason. And so sometimes we look at things as setbacks, but there's a lot to be gained in those setbacks too. So one of the benefits to any hurdles that Evan has encountered is that he now works at the public defender's office. And that's extremely beneficial for a sitting judge. I liked him before, but now you can imagine my position to have a sitting judge that has experience and knows what it is to be a public defender. And we didn't just put him in a, sweet position off in an administrative office someplace. He's on the line doing one of the hardest jobs we have, which is as a misdemeanor attorney. So you're really getting to see people, right? And how that system works and how it affects. And so the knowledge that is gained by doing that, and it's a catch-22 for me. It's great to have someone of his caliber in my misdemeanor division, right? That plays out well for me. And here I am with the right again, right? But I want him to do well. We always want people to do well. And I want the culture of the public defender's office to be what it has been, and that we understand that sometimes people are there for a limited time, but we want to make them part of the PD family and elevate them to whatever. And I just think that Evan's going to be a fantastic job. It's just a matter of time. It's not if, it's just when. So what else am I supposed to talk? How we met, how long I've known him, why I believe he'd be a great judge. We have lots of groups in common. PFAL, I don't know what other groups we have in common, bunches of them, Barney Masterson's, lots of things. We just have a lot of interest in common. I think that, everybody on here, good people, we have the right, want the community to do well. This is where we live. These are where we've raised our children, and this is our home. And I'm really pleased to be a part of that community, and I welcome Judge Frayman on the bench.
Thank you. Well, we hope so. We definitely hope so, that's for sure. So here we can take a little cheers to that, right? With my bottle
Yeah,
of
a little
water.
cheers to that. And I don't believe in hoping. I believe in you put out there in the world what you want to happen and you don't
That's what we
accept
want to
anything
happen.
else. But you have to be flexible because sometimes the world tells you what you think should happen isn't really what should happen. And so I do think that you have to manifest your own destiny, but I do think that sometimes you may not have as good a read as you think as you do on what you're supposed to do. So there's some direction to just the universe guiding you. I never ever thought that I would want to be the public defender. That just was not something, but the universe pushed me and I think it's the right spot for me. And I think it's the same thing for Evan. He knew though, right? He knows that he wants to be a judge and he'll be a great one.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
So who would like to go next? Tell a little bit of story about. Shelley, let's go.
Absolutely.
You moved your eyes, so you get called.
Great. No, thank you, Dan. And thank you, Evan, for asking me to be here today and be a part of this. I was trying to think when I first met Evan, it's hard to recall. It was at least 6 or 7 years ago. I met Evan through Rotary. I was very involved in the Dunedin North Rotary, and Evan's very involved in the Waterside Rotary Club. And we met there. There was Alan Kynes. I think you were working with Alan at the time, and Alan's an attorney that I've known for 30 years. And so Alan—
You're not even that old, are you?
Right? I was talking to Alan and Alan's like, you need to meet Evan. He works with me and he's a great guy. And so sure enough, through Rotary and through service, Rotary is a service organization. You volunteer, whether it's road cleanup, soup kitchens, great things for kids. It's all about service and giving back. And no surprise that's where I met Evan and really got to work with him and volunteer with him. And so then our paths intertwined off and on through Rotary and our activities, and then with the Bar Association and the Clearwater Bar. Evan, we're so fortunate to have him on our board, and he serves as our treasurer, and we've signed him up for a second year of that. So sometimes when you have a good treasurer, you keep them as long as you can. And as you know, treasurer is a position of trust and a lot of responsibility. And so it's not just someone that it's not a job that you can convince a lot of people to do, because it's a lot of work, and it's not a job that a lot of attorneys would be good at. And Evan's detail oriented, cares enough to get it right, and we all know that he's someone we can trust. Those are great qualities in a human, in an attorney, and certainly as a judge. I was thinking about a story about Evan, and probably one of my favorite interactions with him is we were at a holiday party for, I think, the Clearwater Bar Association. And we were talking and hamming it up, and I was making some comments about something, and he stopped and he looked at me and he said, do you know my wife? And I'm like, no, I hadn't gotten to meet this one. He goes, you should meet my wife. You two would really get along. And so luckily I had the benefit of meeting Ricky, Evan's wife, and she's amazing. And I'm not saying I judge someone by the company that they keep, but I do. And to be able to meet Evan, and I've had the privilege of meeting his girls, his children, who are awesome, and got to pet his dogs and like just really see him as a human. And that's a really special side to see about someone, and get to meet his wife. And I do, she's phenomenal. And that speaks highly of Evan as well, and who he is and his character. And I think his experience in the different areas of law that I know he's practiced, the responsibility that he takes within his Rotary Club as a past president, with his ongoing support of service projects that he's a part of, his commitment to the Bar Association and his role there as treasurer. This is exactly the type of person that we would want to have on the bench, that we'd want to have our clients and ourselves going in front of, someone that we can trust. So very happy to support you, Evan, in your endeavors. And I just know that it's going to be wildly successful.
Thank you, Shelley.
Thank you. We having a little drink to that one too, right?
Cheers.
It's happy hour. You gotta drink something.
Coffee.
Water for me. I gotta go out in the heat here soon.
I feel like I'm going to get closer to the camera because it's going to show my swelled head. These people keep saying nice things about me.
All right. So thank you, Shelley. So Siobhan, you're up.
Hi. So I think I met Evan for the first time several years ago with the Clearwater Bar, but I didn't know him very well until he started campaigning. And he had been a member of PFAL for several years. The first year he was campaigning, we got to know each other pretty well. But I really think uh, he just went up 10 levels when Ricky stood by his side. I don't judge people either, Shelly, but I gotta tell you, Ricky is my fave. And it just shows what an awesome guy Evan is with Ricky as his spouse because she is a badass. Um, Evan just seems to inspire confidence and reliability and dependability and sound judgment. And all of those things I think we need in someone who's going to sit on the bench, especially in these times. So I look forward to seeing him and the decisions that he can make, the change that he can affect, and just what he can do for our community. I really look forward to that. Plus, I didn't realize how competitive Evan could be. I see Ricky's face. I learned that, last month when we were playing virtual trivia. I look forward to, the next rematch and the rematches after that. And I look forward to seeing what he's going to do on the bench.
Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Siobhan failed to mention that she won in that head-to-head matchup. Now, it went to a tie-break, but she won.
And it was hard topics. I think it was like geography and science. I don't remember, Evan.
There was definitely a chemistry question. So.
It was nothing that an attorney should know.
Right.
See, that's the kind of trivia that I could kind of do okay at. I just can't do this random cultural stuff. I don't know anything about TV or movies or music. Zippo.
You got to get out more, Dan.
Or I don't have kids. That's the reality. Everybody who has kids has to get involved in all this stuff. I watch sports and vampire stuff. But anyway, this is not about me.
I forgot to mention the great comment that Evan had texted me the other day that now that I was public defender elect, he could officially hope to never work for me because he was running for judge, which I thought was so witty. It was, and that just kind of shows his wit and his ability to look at a situation, analyze it, and come up with the end result of it, right? So I thought that was super funny.
Thank you.
Thank you. So Evan, let me give you a chance to say a couple things about you. I mean, we've heard a lot of nice things, so let's hear a little bit more about reality about you.
So, the takeaway from Siobhan that hits home for me, obviously, is the difference between my last campaign and this one is Ricky's involvement has been invaluable, and her enthusiasm for the campaign, is infectious. And I think everybody who gets a chance to meet her sees that and sees really the best side of me in her. And I love her for that, and I love her for really putting herself out there this time because that's not really who she is. She does her work and she saves lives, and like I think Siobhan said, she kicks ass, and it's just that's who she is. And having her take the time to support me in this pursuit has just been phenomenal. I've been practicing law for almost 25 years, and in just about every area that the circuit court handles, I've got some experience. And that sort of sets me apart from somebody who's only been in one area for their entire career. That diversity of experience is something that we really need to find more of when we're deciding on who should sit behind the bench, because we really need people with broad experiences, a variety of experiences, exposure to different areas of our community, because that perspective is really important. If you're going to sit in judgment over people on their worst day, you had better have some life experience that you can bring to bear on that. And I've been married for 28 years, raised 2 children to 21 and 23 who are both successful, not without their challenges, mind you, but we're on the bright end of the tunnel, looking back, going, we've made it. We've done some fantastic things. And so for me, this is really about the pinnacle of that journey. It's I'm hoping that the judiciary is a second career for me. That I can look back on my legal career with pride and say I'm dedicating the next 25 years of my life and my career, to giving back to the legal profession, to the community at large, and trying to be the best judge that I know I can be. So, that's me, and I hope that people vote for me for that. Dan's on mute, but he's still talking.
Well, cheers to that.
I know. So here's a cheers. There we go. I know. Finally, I did it. I caught myself finally.
Cheers.
All right. So I don't want to leave on Evan and me. So I want Vanessa to say something too. So.
All right. So I think I met Evan when he was campaigning as well. I've been here about 6 years now, and I think you had met Evan too on the campaign trail. I think
Leadership Pinellas.
Oh, Leadership Pinellas, right? Okay. But throughout events, I saw him at a lot of networking events. And something that I think of when I think of Evan is he's very genuine. That's the word that comes to mind. I always look forward, like if I saw a familiar face at a networking event, to see you and talk to you. And then of course, bandwagon here, but Ricky, getting to know Ricky, she's awesome as well. I'm the president of Pactel this year. And when I took over, I'm like, we're going to do some events, not just the luncheons. We're going to do a shuffleboard event and some of these events downtown or whatever. So the first one, I think Evan and Ricky were maybe the only two people that showed up. I made Sean come as well. I think everybody got a pizza to take home with them that day. But I got to know them even better at that event, and no doubt in my mind you're going to be an amazing judge, and I'm happy to be here supporting you and happy to meet Ricky. And I think, that's my Evan experience. What about you, Sean? You always have something to say.
Well, it's all about your significant other. So I share that with you, Evan. But I feel like Evan and I, we joke a lot because I feel like I saw you at all the Leadership Pinellas events and stuff like that. And then she was dragging me to all the attorney events, the PFAL and the Pactel and the whatever. And I would see you there, and I was seeing you more than I was seeing anybody else besides Vanessa in my life. So I feel like I've gotten to know you through those events and throughout the years. But you have my support, whatever that means, and however much that's worth. So vote for Evan. But yeah, whatever she says goes. So I just follow her.
Happy wife, happy life.
You are going to have a long, happy marriage, Sean. Cheers to that.
Cheers to that.
Karen, did you want to ask any questions, or did you want to say anything as well?
Well, let me just say a little bit. I am very happy to meet Evan. I have never met him in real life, and someday I hope to. There are, so many things. I'm so grateful to hear so many people have so much to say about you. What direction do you see Pasco and Pinellas going? Do we have some future state attorneys in the audience? We need to work on that here in Pinellas. Other than that, I want to get your name out, Evan. I'm adoring you. I haven't heard from Ricky yet. Are we going to hear from Ricky at all?
Yes, Ricky, yes, absolutely. So let's hear from Ricky.
Okay,
Thank you, Karen.
Let's hear from Ricky and then come back to me.
Okay.
Fantastic. Am I at least off mute?
Yes.
I'm not supposed to say how much I really love public speaking. Hi, everybody. I'm Ricky. And like Evan showed before, y'all have really, not only swelled my head, but my heart. Thank you. And I have, this time campaigning, it was so much fun. I have actually had a ball. I've gotten the pleasure and privilege and opportunity of meeting such amazing humans. Obviously, I think Evan's going to be a fantastic judge when that does happen. I remember when we were first married and in beginning grad school, because we were quite young and graduated college, got married, and started grad school. And I remember him coming home one day when we were studying, and because that was the exciting life you lead. and him saying, someday I want to be a judge. I went, okay. So through our years of working and raising our family, and I worked kind of wackadoodle hours in life, and he was played the biggest role with raising the girls, since mom was working nights and weekends and holidays and times in between. But we made the most of every moment we had together. And once the kids were old enough and off to college, he turned and said, it's time. And so here we are. And as a result, I'm getting to meet such amazing humans. And hopefully we will make that dream come true. And I always laughed through his career going, are you really that attorney? Because you see on TV, because I'm a doctor, so attorneys not my thing, even though there are plenty of them in my family. On TV, y'all are forgive me, not the word worm that you people are. You all are put out there, presented, there's a better word, but I'm not getting it right now, as being contentious and always fighting the fight. And that is not who Evan is. He was always about coming up with an equitable solution so people could move on in their lives instead of just fighting a fight because you can. There are many, many reasons that I would think you should vote for Evan, and I'd be happy to share them personally with anyone, but thank you guys very much. You're definitely swelling my heart and my head, and vote for Evan.
Here's to Ricky.
Thank you, Ricky.
We get her if we elect him, right?
Absolutely.
It's a package deal.
That's right. It's the package deal. So Karen, back to Karen.
Wait. Go to Diane first. She popped in. Diane Lebedeff is here.
Hi, Diane.
Hi, Diane.
Hi there. I have nothing to add except, of course, you know, he's been endorsed by the Florida National Organization for Women's PAC, which I tell everyone. Okay.
Thank you. There we go.
Thank you. Yeah. Cheers to that.
I'll do cheers.
It's a good thing this is water, otherwise I would have a problem.
Yeah, mine too.
Okay, I have a question for Evan. How long have you been in the area? Where did you go to school?
Sure. I went to Dartmouth College and the University of Miami for law school. We moved back to Florida in 1992, right after we got married. Started in Miami for 4 years for Ricky's medical school training, my law school training, and then moved to Jacksonville for her residency. And then we moved back to Clearwater in 2000. So we've been in Pinellas County for 20 years. Ricky grew up in Clearwater, so she's been here pretty much all her life.
Okay, great. I don't know what else to say. I've got a summary here, and these are the quotes that would wind up in the newspaper had the press shown up. And to say, Evan has had life experiences in Miami. And these are just quips from fragments that I picked up in the discussion today. Okay, so Evan has life experiences in Miami. Everybody wants to see Evan in a black robe. He is found on the bandwagon at the Rotary Club. You can see him at the Clearwater Bar, head to head, and never have to work for Sarah. He has raised amazing human beings, and his wife, Ricky, questioned, "Are you a great attorney?" And that's it. That's all I have. But that would have been in the newspaper tomorrow.
Never have to work.
It would be an honor to work for Sarah as the defender when she takes the position. I just have career goals that diverge a little bit from that role.
That one may require too much explanation for herself.
That was my excerpt.
Why would she host the event and then not want to work for her?
And Diane, I just want you to know we are recording this, so anything that you missed, we're going to put back on Facebook too. So, but if you had any questions, I did want you to, or any other things that you wanted to say.
Thank you.
So happy to hear from you too, Diane. It's Sarah Molo.
I recognized you from the Dow meeting.
All right. Well, I guess.
There with me.
Thank you so much for coming, everyone.
Thank you.
Always happy to support Evan.
Nice to meet you someday in person.
Same here. Look forward to it.
And I apologize for not being on video. I am on a cheap PC. My Mac is in the hospital right now.
Ugh.
I had to mail it away because all the Apple stores are closed. So a couple of days I get it back, and I'll be back on Zoom again.
Well, we
Thanks, guys.
appreciate
All
your
right.
voice and
Sounds awesome.
appreciate you coming
And,
out.
and just as a reminder, we said this at the beginning. Just a reminder: this election is in the primary, so it's in August 18th. You know, you can vote by mail, you can vote early, but just remember it's the primary. So the judges and school board members are elected during the primary election and not the general. So obviously, in our political time, we get all heated about the general, but this is a primary, so we got to make sure we get out there and vote. So. Thank you. I really appreciate everybody for joining and participating today. And your support is really important. And we really are going to work hard on getting Evan elected to the bench. So
Okay, just a reminder, mail-in ballots are going, I think, in 2 weeks.
Yes,
Is that correct?
2 weeks. So this is,
2
the
weeks.
time is now.